Hello, hello. Amira Alvarez here, founder and CEO of The Unstoppable Woman. And I want to talk about a place where I find a lot of women stop. It's around the fear of rejection. And it shows up in so many places. So it's like underlying all these reasons why you don't do something. Most of it, if you're in business, let's say you need to go out and talk to people and network with them and share your goodness in this world, meaning what you sell, your product or service, and so many people won't talk about what they do. They won't be visible in that way, or they won't follow up with people, or they won't make a phone call. They'll only send an email, or they won't ask for a sale. All of those things are driven in many ways from a fear of rejection. And in relationships, you see this when people, one party or both parties won't bring the tough stuff to the table for the conversation, right? Because they're afraid of being rejected and abandoned and alone, right? So this can really stop you from having more in your life. The other day, I went to the Bentley dealership with my team for a little outing. I was thinking about buying a Bentley. I've changed my mind on that right now. Maybe in the future, don't know. But one of my team members made a commentary about you just walked in there and like you own the place and no big deal. And it's because I'm not afraid of rejection anymore. So much and so I got to experience and think about and price and, look at the colors and everything of a friggin' amazing car. If you ever get a chance, go drive a Bentley. It is a nice ride. Okay. So it comes out in all these different places, and it's really important to see. And a lot of times we learn the most through when we are rejected. So think of the analogies here. You are a musician and you're out there on stage and the crowd boos. What did you learn? This shows up a lot in sports. This was one of the things I didn't get. I would be like, that team's working so hard. Why is the crowd booing? Why is the crowd can't they be more supportive? They're trying so hard. But in sports, it's like this instant feedback. You're either performing or you're not performing. And you get that feedback. And if you are able to take it as feedback and not rejection, not take it personally, not make it about yourself, then you can learn from it. And you can go forward into the world learning you have to work harder over here. You have to play harder like this. When this happens, you need to adjust like this. And this happens in business all the time. And I think it's harder oftentimes for women in business because they are maybe small solo entrepreneurs. And if they are having a sales conversation or a client isn't happy with their work or something happens, they take it personally because it's their business, okay? But here's what you need to know. And I'm gonna just share a little truth and transparency here. On Friday and over the weekend, I've been having a conversation with a client that was really unhappy with me. And she was one of my great clients, loved her, and she didn't like something that had occurred. And and it was a big deal. And that was feedback for me. And she was mad, she was angry, and she expressed it. And that was, you could take that as a form of rejection. I mean, I get a lot of accolades. I don't have a shortage of that. People post direct messages to me all the time how much I've helped them. They send me emails. They tell me on client calls. All of that is great. I love that kind of feedback. That's great feedback too. But when I get negative feedback, when the crowd boos, especially from someone that I particularly value, if it's not someone I value, like their opinion and their perspective, then it's like water off a duck's back. And you have to discern that. But in this case, I was like, this is important feedback for me. And I really took it in. And I was like, course correction big time. Let's change this. Let's change it as quickly as possible. And let's be grateful for that feedback. Okay? You could call it rejection, but really, if you don't take it personally, it's how you get better. And you can't be afraid to start. You can't be afraid to put yourself out there, because it's not going to be all perfect all the time. It just isn't. That's just not how it works. And so if you don't put yourself out there because you're afraid of rejection, afraid of that negative feedback, you will never learn and grow. You will plateau and start downward spiraling, okay? You should love the feedback. You should be like, bring it on. Let me hear it. I want to go as fast as I can. I want to grow, right? I want to get to that next level. So with that, think about it. When the crowds boo, when you get the rejection, the negative feedback, can you flip that switch and make it something that you can learn from? Can you be grateful for it? Can you embrace it? Can you not take it personally? Okay, with that, go rock your day and be unstoppable. I'm Amira Alvarez, and thanks for watching. Take care.